Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I've done a video and I missed uploading videos, to be honest, but in these past months I was focusing a little bit on my career to change my job, so that's the reason why I've been away, and a lot of things have happened in the meantime. I hoped that this year will end the pandemic, but unfortunately, this is still an ongoing thing. As you already saw in the news, a war started between Ukraine and Russia, which is crazy. I mean, just crazy what is happening. But I wanted in this video to offer a book review to a book called The Magickal Job Seeker, Attract the Work You Love with Angelic Power. And this is another book. It's an actual older book from the Gallery of Magick and is written by the famous Damon Brand. Okay, so I've worked a lot with the books from the Gallery of Magick because, for me at least, they bring results. And I am well aware that these results come in my life, mostly because I also do the action. I mean, for example, in case of a job, okay, you have to learn a few skills, you have to do certain things in order to obtain a good job, and the magic just adds a little bit of spark and of synchronistic events in your life to help you out to obtain the best possible outcome. Okay, so like I've said, I've been away because I wanted to change my job. I was in a company for about more than 10 years, I think, and I started to become a little bit sick and tired of the overtime, and also of a lot of things that piled up throughout the years that I didn't agree with, in terms of how to manage your team, for example, how to speak with people. So my values were not really in alignment with the company's values, so to speak. So that's why the pandemic actually has helped me to become aware of what environment I want to work in and with what type of people I want to work with. But in order for me to be able to change my job, I had to learn a lot of things, to gain some new skills like programming and stuff like that. So in these past few months, that was my whole focus. I really wanted to make a change, because I wanted more free time. Obviously, I wanted to work from home, like many people. But besides the action, the learning that I had to do, I also combined those actions with magic. And the book that I used for obtaining a good job, and I think that helped me a lot, is this one right here called The Magickal Job Seeker. Okay, so let's look a little bit at the contents. Okay, so here you have a small book. This is a really small book, but it's packed with really simple rituals that can help you out in obtaining what you want. Okay, so here is the copyright. Okay, so we have here an introduction about finding a job, and yeah, this is just an introduction, a short introduction about how to find a job, about what this book is about and stuff like that. But I wanted to give you a little bit of background um, in terms of how I used it and how things unfold after I used this book. So I've been in the industry of software testing for, like I've said, for about 10 years now. But in order to get a higher paid job and to obtain more work from home, I had to learn a little bit of programming. So I was really confused because when I started this, so to speak, journey to change my job, I did not know where to start, what to learn, what to do, and I was a little bit confused. And whenever I am a bit confused, I usually use magic in order to sort things out or do a shamanic journey to find an answer to my question. But when I did my shamanic journey in order to find an answer, I don't know, it was a little bit fuzzy, and I kept seeing in my shamanic journey that I should use the rituals from the Gallery of Magick. So I did that. So I found this book, and throughout this period I've done these rituals several times. But I want to emphasize the fact that if you just do these rituals and you don't upgrade your skills, for example, your chances to find a good job, a high paying job, are pretty slim, okay? So always combine magic with actions in your day-to-day life. Okay, so yeah, like I've said, I wanted to do that. I wanted to switch companies to get a higher salary and things like that, but I did not know what to actually do and what to learn, okay? So what I did, I started to read this book, and like I've said, in the first few pages you have that intro that shows what this book is about. Then Damon speaks about the steps to success. Okay, he says that with magic it's important to work in small steps, and I think that in previous videos I said that as well. Also, another thing that I liked here is this paragraph which says magic works by shifting the odds and ordering coincidences in your favor. This is exactly what happened to me when I started to work with this book. Another paragraph that I want to read to you is this one. Magic works best when you put in as much effort as you are asking these angelic forces to put into the working. So, like I said, I will repeat myself. Magic works, but you also have to impress your subconscious mind by doing the actions, okay? That's the best way to influence it and to show it that you really want that desire to manifest. Okay. Then here Damon Brand, explains the magical mindset and how to attain that relaxed and focused way in order to start the rituals. So here you have a small ritual in which you are asked to say certain words of power, okay? And then you have to do a visualization in order for you to be able to start the rituals. So in our case, he says that you have to imagine the sun, imagine it as a vast ball of heat and flame, and then see it shrinking. And as the sun shrinks, it moves inside your heart and resides there as a star. And when I did this visualization, I almost felt that I was doing meditation on the star tarot card, so I found that pretty interesting. Anyway, so this is the first ritual that you have to do in order to create that magical atmosphere. Okay, you can just do it very simple and easily, like it is outlined here, but again, I want to emphasize the fact that whenever I want something that I wanted to grow, I always start working with these types of rituals starting from the new moon, because these celestial cycles play an important role in magic. And why not add a little bit more power to your rituals? So, for example, when I was doing these rituals from the book, I started at the new moon because I wanted all the power that I would possibly obtain in order to get the job that I wanted. So that's my recommendation to you. Here, Damon doesn't instruct you in any of that, but I think that working with the moon cycles, it's a powerful thing to do when you are working with magic. So I strongly recommend you with that, to do that. Okay, so this is the ritual, like I've said, to create that magical atmosphere. Okay, and here, after you start building that magical atmosphere, there will be those actual rituals that will help you to obtain the job that you want. So I'm holding my hand like so, because down here where my hand is an actual sigil. And I've read on the Gallery of Magick website that they don't allow people to use their sigils. And this is a video and I don't plan to have any problems with that. So for you to be able to see the sigil, you'll have to buy the book. But the first ritual from the book is this one, to discover new jobs and make your talents known. And for this particular purpose, you use the power of Aniel. And the instructions are pretty easy. Basically, you have to gaze at the sigil for a few moments and consider that you will soon find jobs that appeal to you and that make the most out of your talent. So after I've done this ritual, I've done it for the purpose, believe me, of gaining clarity on what to learn. So like I've said, I was pretty confused because I had no idea what to do in order to upgrade my skills. So after I did this ritual, which is called to discover new jobs and make your talents known, my husband was contacted by an old friend, and they had a chat and things like that. And he worked for a company, again in the software testing domain. And my husband explained to this old friend, that we haven't spoken to in years. And I don't know what happened, but I think that the reason why this man came back into our lives was because of this ritual right here. So that was pretty awesome to see it happening. Anyway, so like I said, he was working in an amazing company that was paying very well, and he reached a higher position in the company, and he had a good overview on what you need to learn in order to upgrade your skills in the software testing domain. So he told my husband what I needed to learn. Basically, I had a plan written by this man on what I needed to focus on, what certifications I needed to obtain in order to be able to get a high paid job, so to speak. So this ritual, although the title is not related, it helped me a lot to gain clarity. So thank you, Aniel. Okay, the next ritual that you will find in the book is called to increase your appeal to employees. So this one I started using after I think I obtained my certification to become an expert in software testing, and then I started to learn a lot about automation and programming and stuff like that. So this I started to use when I started to actually apply for various positions in various companies. That was, I think, a huge success because I applied for, I don't know, I think 30 companies in a weekend. And on Monday, I was super surprised that they started to call me. And I was surprised because I had other colleagues that I spoke with that they as well applied to multiple companies because they wanted as well to change their job. But although they applied to, for example, it was one guy that told me that he applied to 48 companies and none of them even looked at his CV. So after doing this ritual, and like I've said, I was super surprised that I got called so fast. Anyway, so yeah. Okay. Then I started to use this ritual, which is called to win a job. And for this particular ritual, you use the power of Poel. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but it doesn't matter. It works. So I started to work with this ritual after I started to actually have interviews with various companies, and during the ritual, after I would focus on the sigil, after I would say the words of power, at the very end, I would ask this angel to help me win the best opportunity that there is for me to learn and to grow, and to find an environment that is more suited for me and my values. So that's that. This ritual right here, I've used it, I think, almost every day when I was about to have an interview. And again, I don't know if I pronounced the angel name correctly, but for this particular ritual, you are working with Turquoise, I think it's the name. That's the way I pronounce it, and it worked. So, yeah. Like I've said, this one I've used it for if I knew that I would have an interview, I would do this ritual that morning. Okay. And here you have another ritual to increase your chance of success. So basically I use this ritual after an interview. Okay, so like it says here, when you return home from any job interview, invoke the power of fairies to make your work more likely to succeed. So although I applied for, I don't know, 30 or something like that companies, I had only about, I think, 7 or 8 interviews. So after each interview, I use this ritual right here because I wanted to increase my chances of succeeding. So yeah, okay, and yeah, this is letting go of results. This is a thing that is very common in Gallery of Magick books. I think this is a chapter that is inserted in almost any Gallery of Magick books. And that's pretty much it. Like I've said, it's a pretty small book, but I liked it a lot. Okay, so in the end, this book helped me a lot. The main synchronistic event that happened was the fact that that old friend of ours came back into our lives, and coincidentally he was working in a software testing company. He knew what I needed to do to learn and to focus on in order to obtain a very good job. So I think that these rituals played a huge part in organizing that happy event for me. And I was happy that in the end I reached the end of the interview stages and process with 3 companies that offer very good salary and benefits and all those things. And I accepted the offer of a company that matched my values. And what do I mean by that? In the previous company that I worked for, and I did a lot of overtime, and I think that I worked, to be honest, too much for the money that I was getting. The culture was based around micromanaging every employee, and that was a thing that I hated at my job. I hated to, for example, have I don't know, 10 minutes break, and if you are a little bit late, like 10 minutes or so, your boss will tell you, oh, you are late 10 minutes or things like that. And I am a very sharp person when it comes to meetings and being on time, but I started to see how lately they I don't know, the culture and the company started to become more and more focused on what's being wrong. So yeah, I started to actually hate working there. So that's why I wanted to make a change. And in this company, I was very happy to meet people that actually worked for the previous company. And they told me that here they don't tolerate micromanaging, and they are focused more on bringing results and maintaining their employees happy, because they know if their employees are happy, that their results will be the best. So those kind of values were the ones that attracted me to work for them in the first place. So like I said, I combined all these rituals that you will find in this book with a lot of learning. I mean, in the past months, I think I ended my shift, and then till 12 o'clock at night I would learn, just because I wanted to get out of there. But yeah, so another thing that I want to point out, that during the time that I was doing these rituals, throughout the day, for example, I got many intuitive messages, like on what to focus on more, or I got certain intuitive messages like questions that I may be asked in the interview, And to my surprise, when I was in the interview, those questions that I received intuitively were the exact ones that I received during the interview. So I think that this book really works. It does the job. If you do the rituals, if you do these meditations, if you work with these angels, I think that you will get the result that you need. Of course, I want to emphasize the fact that many people ask me via email, hey Nico, I don't get the results and so forth, or this and that. I think that in magic you have to develop a certain type of level of concentration. And when you look at rich people in general, or when you look at CEOs or things like that, if you really study these people, you'll observe a common thing that they have. They all can concentrate on a certain subject for a long time, and that's why they succeed. And this is the difference between a person who succeeds and an average person. An average person usually scrolls through their Instagram. They cannot focus on one thing at a time more than, I don't know, a few minutes. So I think that doing concentration exercises like you will find in initiation into hermetics, for example, will help build up your skill in improving your magical abilities a lot more. So yeah, anyway, so I highly recommend this book if you want to change your job. I think it's a good one, and you can try it out. You don't have anything to lose if you just try, you know. So this is my book review. I really like this one. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. There was a lot of rambling, sorry about that. And I am very happy to be back and to upload more. So wish you a wonderful day, wish you a happy week, and see you next time. Bye bye.